Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Farhan here. Shayma, my friend, is joining me today for the fun part of our interview. So, Shayma, welcome back. Um,
Thank you.
I want to ask you this question. You are a very successful physician, you are a leader, you are a teacher in this field. But if you were not a physician, for some reason this profession did not existed, what would you like to be?
I've thought about that question a lot, and it sounds crazy, but I would love to be an actress.
Yeah,
The idea of portraying and being someone else, I think would be super fun.
have you ever acted in a show,
No, I
movies?
haven't, and I'm sure I'd be terrible at it. But I really want to take a drama class or something, maybe in my later years.
I think it would be fun. Yeah, would definitely come to watch that show. Uh, so tell us a little bit about a place in your life that you have traveled as a vacation and you fell in love with that place. And now if there was no COVID, you could go back there. What would be that place and what attracted you so much?
So I flew to Fiji when I was in my residency because I had a friend from India who was working out there, and I went on the trip by myself. But because she was working full time, I took an excursion out from the Fiji Islands to, there's hundreds of tiny Pacific islands right around Fiji. So they do these day excursions with 10 people onto a small 1 acre island in the middle of the Pacific. There's no electricity or running water. There's literally just like a building with like 10 beds. And the people who drop you off leave at night and they come back in the morning and bring you food. Let me tell you about a amazingly spiritual experience in the pitch black in the middle of the Pacific with a piece of land no bigger than currently, I guess, my house and the land surrounding it. About one big wave away from complete annihilation, with a bunch of travelers from different parts of the world and with really no light, maybe a flashlight or two. And if you saw a million stars here, you could see a billion stars out there, and really is close to, it was just amazing. It was a life-altering spiritual experience.
So let me understand. They take you out on an island and
Mhm.
it's
And they drop
pitch
you off.
and they drop you off and you spend the night there. It's
With
not a
with
hotel. It's not
No, it's
you're
8 or 10
out.
other people. No running water, nothing. It's literally just bunk beds in a shack.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how long did you spend there? How much time was it?
Well, I spent 10 days in Fiji, but that was one night.
One night.
And then the next day I visited a cannibal tribe. And I'm actually officially part of that cannibal tribe because they welcome you to join
Mhm.
them when you join them for a meal. And that was really amazing.
So,
100 years ago, they would have eaten me.
interesting. Wow, that's amazing. I wish you had some pictures you could share with us. But tell me, so you that's the place you think of if you want to go back, um,
Probably not with my family, but it is a place I think of as
as a
being really, really spiritual for
relaxing,
me personally
spiritual.
because I went alone. But I'm not sure it's great with 3 kids.
Okay. Now you have three kids, and one question I ask everyone, physicians, is any one of them wants to be a physician, and would you allow them to be a physician?
I don't know yet. I think they all
Yeah.
go through phases where, a lot of my husband's family are physicians, and my father-in-law is a neurosurgeon. So yeah, they go through bouts where they want to be neurosurgeons and surgeons. My daughter wants to be just like me, though she's 6. So yes, she wants to be an oncologist. But then the other day she apologized and said she really wants to be a vet. I said, that's fine. So, would I allow them? I think that they have to find certainly their own journey in life. Certainly they have to join a profession that they will be good at, that they're going to work hard at and enjoy, and be able to earn a living. I think that's required. So it doesn't have to be medicine. And if medicine is their love, then absolutely, I would encourage them very much.
That's good to know. Um, so do you have a childhood memory like a once upon a time kind of thing? Maybe an interaction with your siblings that you can't forget and you always bring it up, or it's still in your, you know, in your memory that it can come back anytime?
Well, it's a fun memory. I was about 8 years old, and we visited Kashmir as a family, right? So it was my first time seeing snow. So it snowed in
Yeah.
Kashmir when we landed, and it was just amazing because I remember the snowflakes and going, "This is so crazy. This is so beautiful." And I remember saying at 8 that I'm going to come back and get married in Kashmir because it's so beautiful.
Oh, that's
So I
nice.
do think about that a lot because, of course, it's a really sad state of affairs what Kashmir is going through now, and I
Yeah,
wish we
yeah.
could all go back to it. But it was really heaven on earth when I saw it. It was beautiful.
So you as a person who is ambitious, very driven, needs to have his own time, her own time of own relaxation. Share some tips. How do you get into your own personal wellness? What is your routine? What do you do for yourself to relax at home, especially, you know, with long travels and work?
So I wish it was more regular. I can't claim to say I have an amazing exercise regimen and routine. I don't. I think my routine revolves around being able to take a nice walk around my neighborhood. My neighborhood has a lot of animals, horses, and being able to see the horses and the sheep, and as I walk around, is really peaceful for me. The other thing I find peace in is reading. So I am an avid fiction reader. So that's my escape from the world, and it is as peaceful to me as anything else. I don't read nonfiction much, but fiction is what I love to read. It gets me away from anything that's happening here into a whole different world of storytelling, and it's my peace. It's on my Kindle on my phone, and I can do that anytime I want.
That's nice. Tell me one thing. I know you have a beautiful dog. Maybe
Yeah,
two, but I remember one
one
when I visited
Coco.
you. Yeah, Coco. So pet therapy is good.
Yes.
Um, and fictional books. So tell us one or two titles that you have read in your recent memory that you could recall that is a good thing for non-fictional readers like me. What would you recommend to read? Is there a book that you would like to recommend?
There are lots of historical fictions that I like to read. One of the books I read recently was called The Winter Garden. It's really about really the time in Russia and Ukraine of war. Again, it's fictional, but it's based on historical times. And so I'd like to read a lot of books about the Holocaust and the times. So one of my favorite books, it's not actually fiction, A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So that's really, he was one of the Auschwitz survivors. He was a psychotherapist and has written a book about life behind bars, behind Auschwitz. So similar kind of books, but really inspiring, historical. So that's some of my favorite stuff that I really enjoy because I
I've
love
heard about that
history.
book. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
about that book. Yeah.
great book.
Okay, so are you a sports or a music fan? Is there a music icon that you love, a sports athlete that you would like to meet, or not really into that?
Not really. No, I'm not a sports fanatic. Music to me serves a purpose. So I really don't have a particular music love, although I can listen to Indian music from the 50s and I can listen to Metallica. And I think they both serve to me a purpose and I love them both at different times. It depends on what it is I'm looking for. So really music of all kinds. I love it all.
So I want to ask you a question. A lot of homes have now introduced artificial intelligence, like Alexa kind of thing. Is your home one of those homes that has that? And how are you guys using artificial intelligence at home?
So yeah, we have Alexa and Google and we try to get them to talk to each other. which is really a fun experiment.
Do they?
um,
Because we don't know how. I mean, the Alexa has grown so much that Google Homes is kind of like not even in comparison. So, what
they're
are the?
different. Alexa doesn't know much about factual things, right? Nothing else. She can't Google things for you. So what Google is great about giving us factoids, if we're talking about something and we're arguing about facts or the population of Morristown, we can quickly ask Google, what is it?
Oh, that's
So
a good suggestion.
yeah, they both tell corny jokes. That
Yeah.
we don't use them as much probably as we could, but they're there. I think my daughter uses them more for time of day, or what, tell me a joke, or play me something, good song, or tell me something funny, that kind of stuff. But we
In
don't
our
really use
household, it
them as
has
a lot.
become a meditation music for close to at night for sleeping. So almost
That's
every
good.
one of us listen to meditation music while we go to bed. And my kids have a lot of their own like playlists that they keep playing. But yeah, it's definitely invading into our homes. Um, if you had a no limits excursion, 1 month vacation, where you could travel anywhere in the world, no travel restrictions, no money limitations, where would you go and how would you spend that month?
I would spend that in Africa. I've only been to Morocco, which is the northern part of Africa, but I really, really, I have this strange attraction to all things African, and I really feel, I mean, that's the birthplace of all civilization. There's this incredible amount of history there. I would love to spend it, obviously, the safari being a very commercial part of it, but really in the roots in South Africa, and really learning about history and the apartheid movements. And I would spend, it's a huge continent, so I probably would need a month. So that's where I'd like to spend it.
Well, that's good you brought it up because no one has mentioned ever Africa so far in my interviews, and I've always get a answer of Europe, like because people know where they would eat, where would they get, but Africa is all discoveries. Like you won't know what you will get to eat even the next stop you are gonna be. So it's gonna be full of surprises.
Yeah.
Uh, that's very interesting. I think that would be a month well spent. Um, so, last couple of questions. How do you, what is the definition of fun time with your kids, with your family, that you enjoy the most? I mean, being within a vacation, I'm asking, like within a vacation, what is the thing that you do together as a family that brings you guys together?
So yeah, different things, I guess, in a vacation or home, right? So
Yeah,
during the quarantine, since we haven't vacationed, nor are we going to anytime soon, what we really found joy in is cooking together. So really, all three of my kids really enjoy cooking with me, which has been so much fun. And then trying out new recipes. And the other thing we really love doing together is playing board games. We get super competitive. I mean, it can be from Monopoly to Sorry to Uno, but we get real and Cranium. So we really love our board games. So in vacations when we took them, gosh, what we enjoyed most on vacations is being in a hotel room, and then going out to dinner together and exploring new foods, and ordering new things. And I love when my kids try new things and they like it. So that's
I
what I
love the
miss right
family
now.
vacation pictures that I've seen in recent years. So it's always fun, and um, you know, being able to cook with the kids, it's very difficult in normal life, and now with being a chance to do that, I think it's great because that would help kids learn the value of eating healthier. Because
Right.
otherwise, most Americans, including my kids, they want to eat outside all the time.
It's a life lesson too. This way they can survive. If when they're alone, they can make something and eat it. It should be something everyone should know.
Yeah. Um, So mostly this question fits well with guys, but I will ask you: is there a oops moment, anything that you did? Because I can't see you doing crazy stuff, or
You'd be
maybe
surprised.
you can share a stuff that your husband did and you found him doing. But any moment where it was a really silly thing that you did and
Yeah.
you didn't have an idea what you were doing?
Yeah, you know, this is embarrassing, but I have to tell you, I don't know if it's a mental thing. So I really have an extremely poor sense of direction. And you know, when I tell you that when we moved here, um, I used to go shopping, grocery shopping to Whole Foods, and then I would come home, or I'd go to work and come home. And one day, I had to find a way to go. I had to go to Whole Foods to grocery shop before I got home, and I couldn't figure it out. So I came home, and then I drove out because that's the only way I knew how to get there. And to this day, I still do that sometimes when I go. I have no way to know how to get to my kids' school from work. I only know how to get there from home. So I just have a really bad sense of direction. My husband still
That's
makes fun of
funny.
me.
That's very
It's pretty
funny.
bad.
Yeah.
Even with the GPS and map world, I just can't, it doesn't compute.
Well, it's a very cute oops, because if you would talk to my wife about what I've done in our travels, it would be funny. Um,
I've heard those stories. They're
yeah.
hilarious. Rohan. I've not
Okay.
lost my ID or passport
Yeah.
during
Okay.
vacations yet.
All right. Wonderful. All right, Shema, thank you so much. I hope that we'll get to meet again in person with families when the quarantine is over. And but it was a pleasure talking to you and knowing you at a deeper level. And I think that when it is time, you are very busy. Maybe in few months we'll do a talk that you can teach people about things that you work as a professional in lung cancer or some kind of thing that could help public health related topics to improve medical literacy in public. So that was one of the things that we could do in the future. But thank you for giving this time and attention.
Thank you so much, Rohan. I really appreciate you doing this. It's been a wonderful, amazing experience.
Thank you.